Hi Taurus, welcome back to my channel. It is Krista here to do your extended monthly forecast. So this is for March 2020 and this is for Taurus Sun, Taurus Moon, and Taurus Rising signs. I am reading in the middle of an ice storm. The electricity keeps flickering, but I'm just going to keep on going because who doesn't love an ice storm? All right, Taurus, so this is an extended general forecast for you. I hope you're enjoying your bi-weeklies in addition to your daily free reading on Instagram every day. So those are general readings for the, general collective every day on Instagram, but this is specifically for you. This is for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising. All right, Taurus, what do you need to know for the month of March? Messages for the month of March 2020 for Taurus. Okie dokie, so we have a rather extended reading. As I mentioned, we're going to be doing a Celtic cross. I will lay one deck down and then we are going to qualify it with another tarot deck. Hope you can see that there, guys. Move that over a tiny bit. There you go. And I'm hoping you dig the new setup. This should be a little bit easier to see all the cards this way from this vantage point. So right off the bat, we're dealing with a couple of characters. We're dealing with a little bit of water. What am I saying here? A whole lot of water. 5 water cards. So something really, really important to your heart, something really close to your heart. Couple of swords cards as well, including bottom of the deck energy, a couple of 7s. So first I'm just going to run off some characters that you could be dealing with right now, or their energy. And then we'll get into the bottom of the deck in detail. You could be dealing with a Scorpio, Cancer individual, could be dealing with a Libra individual. Rather, Leo. Sorry, I don't know why I said Libra. Leo, Scorpio, Cancer, could be dealing with a Gemini, or those qualities, right? So, 4th house, home, family. 8th house, legacies, wills and estates, shared finances, major transformations, communication style, trickery. And of course, with Leo over here, sort of success and willpower. It looks like it's going to be a somewhat challenging month ahead, but something that could hold a great deal of life lesson for you. Let's get into why. So bottom of the deck energy, which again, I'm not going to pay over attention to. I just do like looking at this to get an idea of what's going on behind the scenes. And whenever we see the 7s, we're looking at a sense of revision, a sense of editing, assessment, we're qualifying something here. But the 7 of Swords is something where you could be a little courageous around a thought, an opinion, an idea. You could be showing courage at this time. You could be considered tricky. You could be considered going your own way. Someone could accuse you of this. And there's a great deal of protective energy over here with your advice card. I would just beware here, Taurus, that the thing that you're trying to protect actually is, true and can hold water and is based in reality and isn't just, like I said, a thought process or a belief system here, because you could be called on that and it could be sort of what's behind not getting quote unquote what you want emotionally here. So fair and square could be a major theme for you. Let's get into the center of the read. So the card in representing you and the card crossing that, which is the reason for you feeling or this way or being in this position, of course, is the 5 of Cups. This represents you technically. The 5s are always about, a sense of conflict, right? But we can't really get anywhere. The human struggle is found in the fives, and we need this. This is actually a positive place to begin from, because this is not going to confuse you at all. You know you're here. You know that there's this kind of, you know, emotional struggle. Technically speaking, this is an emotional loss. This is a letdown. This is a sense of despair. This is a sense of, you know, emotional defeat. And like I said, it's got a really intense card on top of it. Even if this King of Cups could indicate any water sign, to me it does technically indicate the Scorpio. And the Scorpio is the still waters run deep, right? This is a very intense card. They're ruled by 2 planets. There is, I think it's the only astrological sign that has 2 planets. I feel like I'm going to eat those words, but I can't recall another one right now. Mars and Pluto rule Scorpio. And again, even if you aren't dealing with a Scorpio person, it is probably a water sign or a sensitive person or someone who wears their heart on their sleeve, very, say, poetic, considered emotionally available, but intense nonetheless. So there's a lot of intense emotional defeat, it looks like here, or, you know, a sense of something's not sitting right in a very intense way for you. You could be dealing with a Cancer individual, like I said, or 4th house energy. So what's crowning this situation up here is the moving forward, like moving forward straight ahead, full speed ahead. This is also considered a victory card, so there could be a perceived sense of victory. Again, we are dealing with the foundation being someone who is quite intelligent or really quick-witted, good with their words. But because it matches the same element as a little bit of a what's going on in your head, what is being communicated, watch for gossip, etc., make sure you have the facts and you're not tricking yourself. You know, when I see these types of things together, bottom of the deck and then foundation, you could just be in opposition to this type person or personality right now at this time as well. So this person who could seem victorious to you, or a sense of, say, intellectual victory, feels like it could be around the corner. It is, you feel like maybe you have to tread the line between what you think and what you feel, and these aren't necessarily matching up. So your values and ethics and your behavior may not be matching at this time, or someone in your vicinity, you're witnessing someone else do this at this time. This is a general reading, right, Taurus? So I'm not accusing you of anything, but this is just what I'm seeing, what's going on in the, you know, your monthly arena. But yeah, essentially a really nice victory card. Cancer ruled, technically, right? 4th house, home, family, mother, nurturing. It is a really nice victory card in the sense of the light and the dark, though. You could be pulling full speed ahead. What makes it a little bit difficult to believe that you're going necessarily in the right direction or in, say, a permanent direction, however, is, you know, the foundation being the Knight of Swords. So a little bit of Gemini energy. This is a little bit of a trickster. This is the lover. This is the person who, again, is quick intelligence, quick-witted, has an answer for everything, but can be accused of being a little bit surface or not looking too deeply into something, right? And here we have these 2 opposing forces, this incredible emotional depth, sort of, you know, in, say, in cahoots or in even opposition, because of or in spite of this depth of feeling or this power of emotion that you may not even know what to do with right now, or it feels, I mean, it's hard not to even think that it could feel like it's overtaking you somehow, or you could even want this, right, Taurus? I don't know, like, it's a general reading, right? Maybe you want all this, I'm not sure, but I can only tell you what I'm seeing in front of me. This is either what you want to happen, what is happening, or what could happen in the month of March for you. Excuse me. In your recent past, you do have a really gorgeous 9 here. You have a lot of accomplishment around an emotional fulfillment. So I think that you were feeling pretty positive, say at least the first week, or just at the beginning of the month. You were feeling confident in your emotions, confident in what you were getting back, confident in what you were sharing here. But this is also a wish card, right? It's technically a wish card. So you were wishing perhaps for better outcomes of an emotional state. And again, you know, and I'm looking at you, Knight of Swords, and the bottom of the deck. You know, what was being said and why was it being said? Because these two worlds aren't matching. You could have wanted or desired, or this could be happening, that you expected an emotional, say, celebration, or some sort of, you know, emotional fantasy was coming to life, and never the twain shall meet type thing. There is this major disconnection between the mind and the heart here. We do have judgment over here in the near future. Of course, the author calls it the call card. It could technically be a calling, but it could be a second chance at something as well. It could be a way of leveling up. You are really able to, or you're being called to look at the big picture here, guys, in a really objective way. You could need a professional advice at this time. I would look for sage advice. We don't see the Hermit here yet. We are going to lay another layer. If I do see the Hermit, I am going to suggest that you see a professional. But here it is a nice idea to at least start looking around, start looking at, you know, advice at this time, maybe looking at your past. How did you solve a similar issue in the past and come out on top? How can you get your emotional needs met in a safe way for you, while being true to yourself and true to your ethics? How can you blend these two worlds here? So in the card representing how you see yourself is the Justice card. You see yourself, Taurus, as a Leo. Leo is another fixed sign. It is a very successful sign. It could have to do with a child, either your child, someone else's child. You could be the child. We're dealing with a very, very young, sort of sensitive energy just above it. So, you know, how you're seeing yourself is someone with a great sense of justice and fairness. We know that this could be a legal matter. This could be professional stability. But we also know that Leo ruled justice is really about being the light, something coming to light, having the, you know, self-love and self-awareness enough to be willing to tell the truth. So this is in the position of how you see yourself. I think you see yourself in a very, very positive light. Those around you are seeing you as someone who's fairly sensitive and perhaps even emotionally immature, or at the start of emotional journey. They could see you as someone who's a little bit too sensitive, someone who's a little bit too easy to manipulate. So I would even be aware of those around you who could be manipulating you, because you see yourself as a Leo, or, you know, the Justice card here. You could be influenced by people around you very easily at this time, so just be aware of that. Here we have in your hopes and fears the Four of Cups, guys. So this is a real emotional boredom. This is a real standstill. Now, the fours technically are stability, right? So it's good. Like, you're not woefully kind of struggling here like you were at the beginning of the month necessarily, at least by the last week of the month. But there's something that may feel still a little bit unsettled emotionally here. This is really confining, I find. This is confining, like your group isn't growing, your emotional world doesn't feel like it's growing, or at least there's a fear here that it won't. And new options in love really aren't being grasped at here. And I do think it's because the advice card, or at least the possible outcome, could be that you're too busy protecting something. You're too busy protecting something that maybe doesn't deserve protection. Maybe it's not based in reality. Maybe it's not ethical. So, you know, what it is that you're busy protecting. Now, this is technically being on solid ground. You're not going to be shoved off this rock anytime soon. People could even be agreeing with you at this time. But it just appears like maybe you don't even buy your own story, or maybe there's a part of you that's unable to figure out how to feel the way you act, because these two worlds are not necessarily meshing for you. I really want to see another layer of cards here, guys, just to flesh this out. Flesh this out a little bit more. So just give me a second. I'm going to shuffle and we'll lay another layer down. These cards are so flippy. I'm not used to shuffling them yet. All right, so let's get these guys split up. I'll lay a second layer and we'll look at that in detail. If I haven't already mentioned, you get 4 oracle card messages at the end of this reading today as well. Because when I say extended, I mean extended. Okay, very interesting. I'm going to lay this upright. I don't typically read reversals, but there's a reason why that came out upside down, and we're going to look at that both upright and reversed. So the bottom of the deck, so a little bit of a decision here. There could be a karmic energy, something that you feel like you are juggling, something feels like it's a bit tumultuous, but you're in a bit better position than you think you are. But because it's bottom of the deck energy and it's matched with our 7 of Swords, which can be a little bit like, what are you trying to get away with? What do you believe? Is it true? Going off in your own direction. Why would you be doing that? Going off in your own direction from whom? From what, right? And again, you'll notice he's sort of juggling this in front of choppy waters. So there's a little bit of juggling, maybe 2 people, 2 jobs, 2 plans, 2 things of some sort, 2 relationships. And it's not going to necessarily be emotionally fulfilling. There's a little bit of a topsy-turvy feeling there as well. So here's what we're dealing with, the cards representing you and why you would be in this position. So on top of the 5 and the King of Cups, we have the Empress and the Knight of Wands. So someone who is very, very bountiful, someone who is in a really, I would say, prosperous position. We do have 3s, which technically rule the Gemini, but the Empress is ruled by Venus, so this is your ruling planet here, Taurus. So you're in a really good position, at least financially, career-wise. There's a lot of passion here. You have a lot of people on your side. You could have career choices. You could have people interested in working with you toward prosperous events. A lot of prosperity and passion is being felt here. So you could want something to grow. You could have a love, and the Scorpio could be the love interest, that this is a love reading for you and they're not giving back in a way that you need them to. Or there's a lot of, say, sexual tension or some sort of tension here where on the surface it looks like you should be fulfilled, and then like on the surface it looks like everything's great. You're on top of the world. You have nothing to worry about. Things are going your way, but beneath the scenes, under the surface, in an emotional state of affairs for you, things are extremely intense and choppy. In the card represent like crowning you. This is what's sort of the reason for all this. What's impacting all this is judgments. We do have judgment twice here. We have it in your near future. We have it now on top of the Chariot. So yeah, something coming around again. This could be karmic debt. This could be karmic energy. This could just be something that you need to face head on and stop avoiding. We do have the Ace of Cups over this Knight of Swords here. So a lot of love, a new opportunity in love. A language of love, an offering of love, could be surrounding an air sign or a Gemini person or energy. Or at least, again, we're dealing with this sense of, emotional wisdom and wealth and opportunity here around a sense of knowledge and intelligence and quick-wittedness. And these are, again, we're dealing with opposites, right? We're dealing with oppositions. I feel like there needs to be a real give here. There needs to be, something needs to give. Either the way you want to feel about something or the way you're thinking and believing about something. Here in your recent past, we have the Queen of Wands over our 9 of Cups. So we could be dealing with an Aries individual or a first house energy, right? This is the self. This is, you wanted this for yourself. You felt emotionally fulfilled. You felt like your wishes were going to be answered. Even your prayers even are going to be answered. But there could have been a selfishness involved there. Not that that's automatically negative, but you know, if you're going to have some sort of relationship with someone else, or you wish for a connection with someone else, you can't be selfish about that. That goes two ways. You have to look at where the other person is coming from, or vice versa. They have to look at where you're coming from. But this is a very entrepreneurial, spirited individual. This is someone with a lot of passion, creative nurturance, and you know, a lot of patience for passion and expression. We have a queen sitting right across from her. We're going to look at issues of slander and maliciousness this month here, Taurus. Slander and maliciousness, guys. We're looking at two queens. Yeah, I would beware of some sort of relationship right now. Some sort of relationship is super wonky. Only you know what it is, but slander and maliciousness, avoid the heck out of that and don't get caught up in that, folks. Queen of Swords over our Judgment card in your near future. You know, this is technically the divorce queen, but this person can be accused of being cold, but they won't lie to you. Truth matters to this person more than anything, and it could just be a measure of, you know, truth versus, you know, facts versus fantasy could be a major theme here in the month for you, at least by the beginning of the third week. Here we have our Six of Swords over Justice. So yeah, I mean, this person who's a Leo, or this Leo energy around how you see yourself, you definitely want to sail away from, that's the ice storm. You definitely want to sail away from something that's a little bit toxic or unforgiving or mentally or communicatively upsetting, right? You're definitely going to move away from this. You feel confident moving away from this. And you feel that there's a lot of potential there to do that. Here's our second Seven of Swords, though. Seven of Swords. Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands. It's over your, you know, your heart's communication, your sensitive heart. You're, you know, beginning to grow and become confident in the way that you communicate your feelings or how you feel about something, and this is how you see yourself. So you really feel like you have to protect your heart right now. You really feel like you're in a position where you have to protect your sense of self, your sense of understanding. You may be caught between two things, two people, two excuse me, major decisions. And juggling it is creating a little bit of it's becoming work, right? It's becoming work. Here with your hopes and fears over the Four of Cups is our Nine of Wands. Now this is wounded soldier energy. There's a lot of strength here. I mean, you've been through a lot. You can really carry the world on your shoulders. But you can be exhausted here, and you can be fatigued. You can also be extremely let down. Recall it sits on top of this emotionally sort of bored or uninspired Four of Cups, right? So something's not sitting right for you, Taurus. And with your outcome or your advice card over the Seven of Wands that we do see twice, we have the Three of Pentacles. So you could work with someone else toward standing on solid ground or protecting something or defending something. Someone is definitely on your side or in your circle, and they're working on it with you. But I think the biggest question for me right now, Taurus, is what are you defending? What are you defending and why? Or what is someone around you defending and why? Or what are you defending with someone else and what for? To what end? A lot of Venus energy. Look at this. Queen, Empress, Queen, Judgment, Ace of Cups. Wow, we have power jumping out. Power jumped out for Aries as well. Power is very interesting. So of course, this is my medicine card deck. Horse is, its keyword is power. So this I'm going to base on what I read, you know, back in the 80s with Starhawk, and she wrote about power with and power over. And these are power systems. Now, power all by itself, it's kind of like a bullet. It's kind of like inert. It's just this thing. It's an idea. It's how it's used, right? Or a pen or whatever you want to, pencil, okay? Whatever, it's a tool. But we have power over ourselves, or we have power over others. We have power with concepts, beliefs, things, people, or power with our strength of character, our belief systems. So where are you finding your power? Where is your power? Are you in your power? Are you being overpowered? Is power being exploited at this time? Just concepts to consider concerning power. Power imbalance, power maintenance, the power of the heart, the power of the mind. Horse is an incredibly, they're incredibly strong and majestic creatures as well. So someone could be sort of exploiting your power, I'm going to suggest as well. You could feel penned in. You could feel powerless if I already haven't said that. You could need to explore your own sense of power at this time, Taurus. All right, we have 2 cards jump out of the Romance Angels deck. We have, yeah, okay, so true love and then deception. Let's look at true love first. Deception just blows my mind because we're looking at something here is not being considered, or it's not being revealed, or it's being overshadowed or shunned. And I need to know why. I need you to comment below and let me know why, because I can't say for sure why it's being overshadowed. You're going to have to tell me in the comments. So Taurus, true love. This is the romance of a lifetime. So you might feel stuck. You might feel like you're beholden to somebody, that you owe somebody something. You might feel like you need to give up something, or, you know, stay in the shadows so that someone else can enjoy the limelight. There's a role. When it comes to true love, there's a real role. There's a position that you're taking here, right? So the romance of a lifetime could change. It could change because of what it's based on. So yes, it may be a romance of a lifetime. It may be true love, but what does love mean? What does love mean to you? And here with deception, someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. No frigging doubt. No doubt. Just make sure it's not you, is all I'm going to say here, Taurus. Just make sure that who you're dealing with is not undermining you or exploiting their talents or abilities or even worldview. Archangel Michael and body care jumping out of the Healing Angels deck. Archangel Michael always shows up when he's available for you because you're going through a tough time. This is just the way it is. So reach out to Archangel Michael if you're really suffering or need assistance at this time. The best way I know how to do it personally is to thank him for something already underway. So thank you, Archangel Michael, for healing me at this time and showing me a positive path, etc. But very, very potent energy here. I do see a struggle. So feel free to reach out here, get some advice. And here with body care, this could be taking a toll on your body here, guys. So just really pay attention to your health at this time as well. Make sure this... And body care I do consider to be both... Well, not necessarily both. So mental, dental, spiritual, psychological, physical, sexual, right? So health, body care, anything having to do with your body, take care of your body, because this looks like it could be affecting it. I might even suggest your heart could feel a little bit wonky by the 3rd week. And your final card for the month is Treasure Island. You hold it, guys. You hold it. I think it's just time to get to the root of what's really inside your heart. What is it that you hold the dearest? The treasure is within. And that Empress was really talking about a sense of prosperity and a will to power and a will to self. But the treasure is within. What is really deep in your heart here, guys? Because I do see a major decision around something that looks or can even act like a little bit of trickery, or you know, going off in your own direction. There is a sense of courage here as well, but I'm going to suggest that the sense of courage is around telling, you know, coming to terms with the truth and telling the truth. So I really hope that you enjoyed that. In addition to your bi-weeklies, make sure you like and subscribe, share my videos if you can, and let me know if this was helpful to you guys. I love hearing from you. And until we meet in the next video, my dear Taurians, take excellent care. Bye for now.